Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kenny Wallace Show. Myself and Charlie Martle, my producer, we decided to call an audible. Breaking news in the garage area. 7-time champion Jimmie Johnson and the other 7-time champion, the King, Richard Petty, Petty GMS. They've all collaborated together. So they're forming the edition of Jimmie Johnson next year in 2023. So let's break it all down. Right now, we have Petty GMS, and they want to race this year with their driver, Eric Jones. Months ago, they announced that they're going to add a second team next year with Noah Gragson. And Noah has been incredible this year in the Xfinity Series, just cleaning up, winning everything. Well, here's Jimmie Johnson. Now, can you see this logo? They're saying next year that we're going to have Petty GMS with Jimmie Johnson. And they're saying right now, we don't know if we're going to add Jimmie Johnson's name to our team logo. However, they say that Jimmie Johnson has bought into the team. So if that is to be true, there's a lot, you read between the lines. Are they like, hey, Jimmie, come on over, we'll give you 10% of the team? Or is Jimmie, getting some real money out of his pocket and paying? But can you see this logo? 2 7-time champions, Jimmie Johnson, Richard Petty, 14. 7 and 7 is 14. That's AJ Point. Hell, they just ought to call AJ up and say, AJ, you want to join the team? I think this is awesome news. I don't think they can go wrong. I think this is going to make NASCAR more of a powerhouse. Jimmie Johnson collaborating with the great 7-time champion, the king of NASCAR, Richard Petty, with some more money. There's always money hidden behind the scenes. When you look at Roush, Jack Roush, he's very wealthy. But hold on, Roush Fenway. So same thing goes down with Richard Childress. There's always these quiet collaborators. But when you look at Richard Petty and you look at Jimmie Johnson and the money behind that team, this could be a powerhouse team. Now, let's talk about Jimmie Johnson. Why did he want to do this? When I think of Jimmie Johnson, I think of Michael Jordan, right? What do they have in common? They want to do it all. So Jimmie Johnson said, hey, I'm out NASCAR. I'm going to go race Indy cars. Jimmie goes run the Indy car, and he's like, this stuff's a little harder than I thought. I'm going to go back to NASCAR where I know what I'm doing. So Jimmie gets a pass any way he wants. He's a 7-time champ. I'm sorry. This guy's won 70-something NASCAR races. He was allowed to go see if IndyCar is what he could do. It's tough. Now, let's look at Michael Jordan, who has joined up forces with Denny Hamlin. You see what's going on here? A lot of star power. Michael Jordan was the great Chicago Bulls, their star in basketball. Michael Jordan said, I'm going to go play baseball. Like Jimmie Johnson, Michael Jordan said, I think I'll just go back to basketball. So all these greats remind me of what Warren Buffett told Alex Rodriguez, or as we all know, A-Rod. A-Rod had $200 million. And so, it's plenty of money. You don't got to do anything else. But A-Rod's young, and he talks to Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest people in the world. And he says, Warren, I'm Alex Rodriguez. I got a couple $100 million. I want to spend some of it. Warren Buffett's advice was brilliant. He said, A-Rod, stay your lane. Do what you do best and do baseball. It can't get any better than that. It's that old story of the country western singers. Whatever singer it was, hey, I'm George Strait. I'm going to start a chicken franchise. I'm going to sell chicken at all these. And it's like, went broke. Not George Strait, but some other country western singers. So the lesson to be learned here, I believe Jimmie Johnson is doing the right thing. He wants to race next year. They say they're going to add a third team. What's it going to look like exactly? Will there be a logo change? Will it say, I mean, it's got to have something to do with 2 7-time champions. Whoever wins this logo design is I want to know who they are. So 2 7-time champions with GMS, which is another very wealthy man. They're all included in the press conference. So here we go. All right. Listen, the bottom line is this. Just when we think NASCAR, I don't like NASCAR. NASCAR sucks. Well, all of a sudden, everybody wants to be part of NASCAR. And here's why. Because like I said earlier, months and months ago, this new car. You can go and you go, hey, I want 3 cars. And they build you 3 cars. And they hand them to you. You know, taking a shortcut, you just basically buy a car off the shelf. So the teams don't have to be so big anymore because you don't need, 12, 20 fabricators. So it's the right time. It's the right time. You look at all these teams that are new. You got Denny Hamlin with Michael Jordan, and you got Justin Marks with Pitbull, and now you got Jimmie Johnson coming back in. Now, is it a new team? Well, they're going to have two more cars next year. Remember, right now it's Eric Jones. Next year, going to be Noah Gragson and Jimmie Johnson. The other question is, does Jimmie Johnson have a provisional? Because Jimmie Johnson is going to run the Daytona 500 next year. Where are they going to find all these, are they going to have a provisional? Are they going to be able to buy a franchise? They're saying these franchises, if you want to get into NASCAR right now, and you want to have a provisional, meaning you're going to start the Daytona 500 and you're going to purchase it from somebody, that owner can just about retire. So let's say I'm Jay Robinson and I want to sell my franchise. $30 million, man. Give me $30 million. What's it worth? How much money do you have? This is like a big poker game. How much are you going to ante up? But overall, let's wrap it up. This is good. I like it that Jimmie Johnson got it out of his system. Went and tried that. Hey, listen, the lesson to be learned here is this. When you're a race car driver and you look over there and you go, hey, man, I'm the greatest. I think I'm going to go over here and show these boys how it's done. Stay your lane. Everybody has their deal, and they're really good at their deal. I think the last, and comment right here below, to me, the last athlete that pops up in my mind that could do it all was Deion Sanders. He played with the Chicago White Sox and go back there to the Dallas Cowboys, and he was equally good in both. So drop it right here. Who's the other athlete that got it done? All right, then. Breaking news in the garage area. Jimmie Johnson coming back to run a limited schedule in 2023. His first race will be the Daytona 500. Motors right now are from Richard Childress Racing, RCR, but a team that has now been upgraded. Now, remember Justin Marks with Pitbull, that's the Ganassi team. So we're restructuring teams that are existent, but we're adding more teams onto that existing team. A lot of these teams are just being rebranded, which I believe is just making NASCAR stronger. Now for the last thing, they just got to get those cars a little safer. We got this last race here at Phoenix, and they say they're going to make the rear bumper softer, hopefully make our sport a little safer. All right, I think that's it. The next Kenny Wallace Show, I've done give you my picks. You know where I stand with the championship standings. That was on the previous Kenny Wallace Show, and we'll be breaking it down next week after it all gets over in Phoenix. Are you all getting sad right now? It's going to start getting dark at 4:45. Get cold. How many days until racing starts up? Love you all. See you next time on the Kenny Wallace Show.